All right, good day, everyone. My name is Peter Daniels, and I want to welcome us to today's meetup. We have our speaker very much ready. Um, Kemmy Raji, she's a profound agile coach in North America, and she'll be taking us through the much anticipated liberating structures and unleash innovation conversation. So it's a pleasure to have Kemmy Raji here. I can't introduce her enough because I know quite a lot of us already have information about her accomplishments. For the fact that she's also listed among the top 50 influential agile experts globally. So it's my pleasure to introduce Kemmy Raji as she takes us through the much awaited, exciting meetup. Thank you, Kemmy, for joining us.
Thank you so much, Peter, for that warm introduction. And also, thank you for inviting me on this platform. It's so great to connect with people in Nigeria. Good morning, everyone, or afternoon, evening, whatever the time of the day is where you are, and welcome. So today, I'm going to introduce you to some of the liberating structures. And as I was kind of like putting my slides together, I thought to focus on positivity for this for this session because of what's going on around us currently. And at the moment, it's all about COVID-19, the pandemic, people dying around us, our loved ones being ill, people will know and all. So, but I am not going to introduce myself again because Peter has done a good job, but just something to know about me. I live in Canada. I have lived in 3 continents so far, and I'm a mom to 3 boys. I'm a coach and a trainer, and I mentor people as well. So, liberating structures. Currently, there are 33 microstructures. I know there are a couple of new ones that have not been added to this list. So the Liberating Structures as a website, I would give you the link at a later time before we end the session. These structures were created by these 2 guys. They are the co-creators, Keith and Henri. So they've allowed us or anybody to use these structures without any financial gain. So in the sense that you could make it your own, you could use it at work, you could create training out of it, but you cannot award certification out of it. So that means you're not going to be owning it. You must always give credit to them. So, and that's what they've said about it. I have been using liberating structures for 2 years now. I caught the bug when someone introduced me to it. I've traveled for the conference last year, and I'm active on the Slack channel. And I use it at work. I use it in coaching, in teaching, because it's very flexible and scalable. You can use it wherever you want people to have a conversation. And if you're someone like me who is an introvert, then the Liberating Structure is a good thing to use because you are able to capture everyone's conversation. So what does this look like? This is probably your typical meeting. Okay, not as crowded as this, but you have one person standing in front of the room or sitting somewhere, and they are doing all the talking. Sometimes you find that half of the room either on their devices or reading or daydreaming, whatever they're doing, but they're not present. And that's where liberating structures comes handy. So if you have an over-controlled conversation similar to what we have here, this is what would happen, right? People would not engage, maybe one or two people. And some people might be sleeping. But if you have under control, again, you will lose some people. So here is where this guy here with a lot of energy in his head, that is where liberating structures kind of like sits. So you have people very energetic, they want to contribute, and they have, you know, their seats at the table. Liberating structures, there are four structured invitation. The invitation meaning that the question you're going to be asking. So you need to have craft that, because by crafting your invitation, the conversation is guided. The outcome that you receive from that session is equally powerful. And then this space, arrangement of the space. Who should be sitting where? Where should people be? Take, for instance, when you're at a meeting and you have someone that likes to talk a lot. How about positioning them somewhere that you might be able to caution them, for instance, or positioning them somewhere that they might not be able to speak that much, taking into consideration the people around them. So you're looking at people's behavior, people's responses in the meeting, and using that to create that space. Or perhaps you want 2 people or 3 people together at once, depending on the type of liberating structure you're using. So for each liberating structure, there is a guide in how to arrange this space. And then the time allocated to each conversation, the time allocated to each structure. It's very important because you don't want it too long and you don't want it too short. You just want the exact time. And then configuration of the groups. Again, it's about matching the right people together, or making it in such a way that the introvert and the extrovert are all together. Or maybe you're working with some people whereby there are executives and the team. So you want to group it in such a way that that is all balanced. Again, distribution of the participation. How do you want to do that? What are you aiming to get out of that participation, right? So it's just like a DNA, it's present everywhere. And you probably would have done a little bit of liberating structures, but not knowing it's liberating structures. So in the view of this, we're going to try one of the structures that is well known. A lot of people I know, they start with this, and it's 1, 2, 4, all. So with this one, you're able to engage everyone simultaneously in generating ideas, questions, and suggestions. First, you get people to write down what they're thinking, and then you get them to share with another person. And then those 2 people, you get them in pairs, you get them to find another pair and share that with the pair. And then everyone come together and, they share what they've learned. And you realize that as you have, or the question they have, And when you're done, please put it in the chat box. Coming up. I'm just curious, does everyone know where the chat box is? Unfortunately, there is no 2 minutes for that. Um, okay, so This isn't meant to be a one-sided facilitation. As you know, I said the liberating structures is all around the people getting engaged. So unfortunately, there is no breakout room in this Zoom, and I would like to crave you and share that with you right now. So if you'll be kind enough to just join us in that platform so that we can make this more interactive, right? So in your chat box, you're going to find a new link. To join this meeting, and I will be waiting for you there. So see you on the other side. Again, it's the question, discuss with your partner where you recently felt your voice was heard and what made it possible. So spend 2 minutes with your partner, and then I'll bring you back, and then we'll go into the breakout room with 4 people. Okay?
feedback about you.
All right, so you're back in the room. We'll just do the group discussion here. Who would like to share what came up for them?
Rashida, I'll go first.
Go ahead.
So I was in a room with Centil. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. So Centil was in a group of team in which he feels the team was very large. And he proposed for them to restructure the team into a smaller group. That way he can make sure things are getting done. And he was able to get that over to his management, and they did agree for him to restructure the team into a smaller group.
Oh, okay, that was great. All right, thank you for sharing that. Any other thoughts?
Yeah, this is Oluwasomi. Yeah, before the pandemic breakout, so we used to have a physical meetup on Saturdays with some practitioners. So, but the moment that came up, everybody was like, oh, you have to stay safe, stay at home. But I called each of the team members that come, guys, we could meet up online. And of course, they were like, are you sure that is going to be possible doing all those stuff? I said, why not? It's possible. So, and of course, we started meeting up online, and we've had a good time doing that. And of course, the sessions still continue. We have 3 times in a week now on the road. Every week, we meet 3 times in a week. So, like 1 hour, 30 minutes for each of the meetup. So.
All right, so what made that possible for you?
Because I told them, of course, we should always find a way around every of our challenges. We're in the IT world. We should always find a way. There's always a solution somehow. You should always think outside of the box. That, of course, there's pandemic. We can't meet up again, but we could still meet up one way or the other and still achieve at least about 90% of that which we would have achieved if we're meeting up physically. And knowledge is going to be shared. Knowledge will be gained while doing all this, and that's the purpose of our meeting up in the first instance. And they all agreed that, of course, we could still be gaining knowledge while we are staying at home, staying safe.
All right, thank you for sharing that. So, where does anyone see this 1, 2 for all being used? Where would you use it? Bearing in mind that we had to skip some of them. So we did the 1, we did the 2, and then we did all. So we skipped the 4. But notwithstanding, where do you see yourself using this structure?
Maybe with brainstorming ideas.
Okay.
So maybe there's a problem and everyone's given a problem, and then there's an opportunity to kind of share ideas around the problem in your small group, and then share that further with larger groups, and hopefully the solution can evolve as you discuss it with more and more people.
Absolutely. Yes, it's for brainstorming, for helping people who like to write things down first before they share their thoughts, right? So the next one we are going to move into is called Conversation Cafe. Like I said, this session is all around getting ourselves to talk about what is happening around us. So it's going to focus on appreciation or looking at people that you want to thank. So Conversation Cafe does have some instructions to go with it. So let me just move this out of the way. With Conversation Cafe, you use a token object. So when you're holding the object, you are invited to speak. When someone else is holding that object, you are invited to listen. And you can bypass. So you can say, I pass. I don't feel like contributing anything. So we are in a virtual world. So basically you would have to find something where you're sitting, maybe a pen or a pencil or paper, any object you can find lying around you. And that would be your talking object. And also there are 6 agreements you have to abide by. So one is that you suspend judgment as best as you can. 2, you respect one another. 3, you seek to understand rather than persuade. 4, you invite and honor diverse opinion. 5, speak and have personal hurt and meaning. And then the last one, go for honesty and depth without going on and on and on. So we don't want people just talking without consideration for the people in the room. So I'm going to put you together so that you can have a conversation without me listening in one breakout room. So the invitation is that in this current situation, what are the possibilities for you? What are the possibilities in this current situation? And here is what the timer is looking like. So in the first round, the first person having a talking object, share what they're thinking, feeling, or doing about that question. So 1 minute, everyone goes round. And then in the second round, the person can elaborate on that or follow up on it. Again, 1 minute round. And then in the third round, open discussion. So in this case, you don't have to use the talking object. And then in the final round, you briefly share your takeaways. So the goal of the goal of the Conversation Cafe is that you listen to that person speaking without asking questions. But in the final round, you might want to clarify anything, or you might want to just share what you're taking away from that conversation. All right? So remember, you have a talking object. If you have that object, you speak. When you don't have the object, you listen. And then there are 6 conversation agreements. You suspend judgment, you respect one another, you seek to understand rather than persuading that person, you invite and honor diverse opinion, you speak what as matter personal heart and meaning, and then you go for honesty and depth without going on and on. All right? And here is your invitation. And I'm going to put you in a breakout room. So the way the virtual works with the object is that you hold on to your own object and you kind of like pass it on to the person on your right or on your left. So you call out that person's name and they would have their own objects as well, right? Holding it, and then you pass it on similarly. So just bear with me and I'll put everyone in a breakout room. Okay, so you probably need someone to keep the timer of 1 minute for everybody, okay? And then when all the minutes are done, I will close the breakout room and then you come back to the main room. So the breakout room is opening now. What is this, in this current situation, what are the possibilities for you? So everyone is in the breakout room. I don't know if you want to join them. I can put it in there.
Yes, I would like to join them.
Okay.
Thank you.
All
Yeah,
right.
thanks.
All right, welcome back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What was made possible by that conversation cafe? What was made possible?
So a few of us mentioned the fact that there are now more opportunities to learn and to share your learning as well. And you're not restricted by travels and distractions that prevent you to dedicate some of your time towards learning. And they see that as a possible opportunity that will go beyond this current crisis.
Yeah, absolutely. So by using Conversation Cafe, what did you notice in the quality of conversation that was coming up?
The quality of conversation, you said?
Yes, what when you add one person speaking at a time, what were you noticing?
I think there was clarity.
Okay.
And I noticed there was respect because we wait for each one in order to talk and then get the feedback after.
Okay. Anything else? Any other thoughts? All right. So where do you see yourself using this Conversation Cafe?
I think once again, brainstorming when you have ideas. I think maybe when running a retrospective, maybe when you're looking back and trying to see how you can better yourselves. So it's an opportunity for each person to speak and share what's personal to them. And I think it was Rashida that mentioned like respect. So I think similar, that there's an opportunity to show respect, and it could be using those two scenarios I just gave.
Yeah, that's right. All right.
Yeah, I thought of retrospective too.
Retrospective. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm guessing you're referring to sprint retrospective.
Yes.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay. So yes, conversation cafe. It's good when you want to have a very great discussion without someone talking over the other person. When you, especially when you have a team or people who like to interrupt, you just kind of like give them the ask them to pick up the talking object, and they only speak when they have that object. Talking about Agile, another way to use it is your daily scrum. So you can use that conversation cafe at the daily scrum. Everyone takes time to speak. And if you don't hold that talking state, then you don't ask any questions or speak. Okay, so the next one we're going to do is called positive gossip. And positive gossip is all about appreciating other people's contributions to your work or experience, or wherever you find yourself. I've realized that lately, maybe because of what's going on around us, we're so much about ourselves because we're thinking about what's happening, that we're not appreciating people who are around us. Not that we don't want to do that, but because we're sometimes feeling overwhelmed by what's going on. So what we're going to do is that you will go into breakout room. So, and what I would need you to do is that you share something positive about the other person in this group based on their recent contribution or behavior. You might think, well, I don't know this person. I've only met them 5 minutes. But you'll be surprised that you would have something positive to say, right? Whether you've met that person now or you've known them for a long time. So find something positive about that person, and you say it to them. And then you switch. So you're saying it, taking turns to share your positive vibe with that person. So I'm going to put you in the breakout rooms. Just bear with me. So it'll be 2 people. All right, so I would open the breakout room now. I think one person is going to be left, so you can stay with me and we'll have that. All right, so let's put 3 minutes. Open the rooms.
Hi, mentor.
Rashida?
Yes, ma'am.
You need to join the breakout room. Are you?
Oh, you had me with you. I don't have.
I assigned you to a breakout room. Okay.
No,
Yeah, it probably didn't come up. Has it come up now?
no, not yet.
Okay, let me ask. So that's another thing. Okay, so I've reassigned someone else there. And you can stay here because I don't know what's happening. You're not moving. Break around 5. So you probably didn't get that. Okay. Right. So let me share something positive about you that I noticed this morning, and the fact that you are keen to move from one platform to the other platform. It shows that you're dedicated to learning. So yeah, which is really great.
Thank you. For me, I'll say you're a great coach. And you're very engaging. And I just noticed, like, there's something about you that even if, the group or the team don't want to, like, there's a positive vibe in you that you kind of like portray to people around you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Oh God, let me close the room. I should have closed it a minute ago. It's all good. All right. And
Been following through.
all right, welcome back. So for the last time, we are going in the breakout room. What you're going to be doing with the new partner is to share something positive about the behavior or the contribution of that person in front of you. So this time around is that person who is in front of you. Okay. And again, I'm just going to be swapping people around. You might find there, you still have 3 or 2 people in your room. That's fine. Okay. So another 3 minutes on the clock. Share something positive about the person in front of you. All right, everyone should be coming back now. Okay, I think we have everyone back now. So what are your takeaways? What are your takeaways from a positive gossip?
A lot of the compliments were unexpected but real and authentic. Like they were true compliments but unexpected. So I think I learned something about myself.
Yeah. Thank you. Any other thoughts?
I think even if we interact for a short while, so we are able to catch the positive vibes and hold it in, have a perception, a positive perception.
Yeah, thank you. So where do you see yourself using positive gossip?
I'll jump in if no one says anything. Okay, so I think a retrospective again, and I think in conflict. So if you have some kind of conflict in a team and you're like maybe facilitating as a scrum master or something, then this is an opportunity to bring the two people together who are currently having some kind of problem between themselves or disagreement, and then they can look at the positive sides of the individual that they are in a disagreement with.
Yeah. So it's about looking at that person. Is that what I'm hearing? Okay, great. So we're going to go to the last structure for today, and it's what, so what, now what. And basically you want to look back at your progress from the beginning to date and decide what adjustments are needed. So in this case, you want to look at what you've seen, heard, or observed during this session. For the what is just observation. You don't want to reach any conclusion just yet. There are no assumptions. There are no judgments. It is what you seen, heard, or you observed. And there are no breakout room this time around. I would just need you to type in your chat box, but don't hit enter until I say enter, okay? So what have you seen, heard, or observed during this session? Please type and don't hit enter yet. All right, enter it. Okay, I've seen a really great professionals here. Zoom breakout room features cool. I observed collaboration of team members and practical knowledge the host is bringing. The breakout room section was excellent way to learn faster because of what we shared will stay for a long time to come. All right. Okay, so the next question, seeing how to facilitate better, everyone add an open mindset. Okay, great. All right, so the next question is, so what? Now it's your interpretation, right? Why are these important? What patterns or conclusion are emerging from what you learned? So remember the first question, what have you seen, heard? So why are these important? What you've seen, what you've heard, why are they important? And what conclusion are emerging for you? Again, you're gonna type in the chat box, and then I'll let you know when to hit the enter button. Okay, so start, please type in. Okay, you can hit the enter button now. All right, so important for my career development, facilitation sessions better, but also online Zoom. Great demonstration of this, Kemmy. I think it will be, I think this is all round. Many others have received free training and absorbing as much better as they can at this time. And another one is breakout room sessions are important in safe agile methodology. Your daily scrum meetings, retrospective meeting is also a kind of breakout sessions where we can discuss openly without fear of always listening. Another one, I can see how tools like Jira can be used to connect with our better with a dispersed team. Another one is, this is important because it brings practical knowledge to life, and also how you can use positive gossip in resolving issues amongst team members by picking positive ideas in workplace. Also, the managerial dynamics as Scrum Master to bring into workplace. My conclusion is to experience more of this type of hands-on knowledge. Another one, great collaboration techniques for the team. All right, so the next and the last question is, what is next for you? What action makes sense from now? What are you going to use what you've learned so far in your work practice or your personal life? What are you taking away with you today? So again, similar thing, type in the chat box, and then when I say enter, then you enter. Okay. All right, when you're done, please hit enter. So I have to make sure study well developers more on leadership knowledge and practices. I look forward to becoming a practice Scrum Master soon. Practicing Scrum Master soon, but having a deep knowledge is important for efficiency. Okay, another one is I study Liberating Structures more and use it for upcoming ceremony. Okay, that's great. Another one is taking away breakout sessions on Zoom, which will help facilitate online meetings with Scrum team. Decision making that involve more people can be resolved within a smaller group breakout. Meeting new people made easy. Another one is I'm going to dedicate time to explore facilitation methods and take a look at liberating structures to explore many approaches they have. I will think more about creating an ambient online as I have seen what good looks like and capability of Zoom firsthand. All right. Thank you so much. And that is the end of my session. I am going to send to Peter a table of how you can create your first liberating structure string, because with liberating structures, you can either do in isolation one of the microstructures, or you can join it together depending on what you want to accomplish. So I will share that with you on the first page of it. Unfortunately, I should have showed, but I left it behind. So on the first page, you will see the list of the liberating structures. And when you flip over, it will tell you things that you want to accomplish. So when you look at things that you want to accomplish, a list, you would have a list of liberating structures that you could use. So say, for instance, there is conflict within your team and you're looking at building relationship within that team. There are a list of liberating structures which will be on that paper that you can try your hands on. So this is great when you're new to liberating structures. So I will send that across to everybody. I guess Peter will be able to do that on the meetup page. And that's the final thing. And any questions, please?
So, Kemmy, this is Senthil here from Bangalore. So, to facilitate a session like this, typically how much preparation do you have to do so that you can have a good session? So, is there kind of a thumb rule that you have?
Oh, it all depends. When I first started, it took me ages. And that's because I was over processing what I need to gain out of that session. But then I realized it's not about me. So the moment you realize that the goal of that session or meeting is not about you, you kind of like use the ones that you feel appropriate for it. Because as a facilitator, you're not meant to have an opinion. But as humans, we do have opinion. So initially that was clouding, which liberating structures I want to use. And that meant I was spending an awful lot of time debating which one was suitable. But the moment I suspended that, I would just speak one and then it speaks to me and I use it. Take, for instance, as I was putting this together, I wanted to surface positivity, right? I don't know where that conversation was going to go, but my goal was that to surface positivity in given what is going on around here. So I put this together, and remember, and the most important thing is the invitation, right? So the more you use it, the more you become acquainted to it, and it becomes easy for you. So in terms of to your question about time, it depends. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
It was an awesome session. Yeah.
Thank you so much. We have another 6 minutes to go. I wonder if there are other questions. If not now, feel free to shoot me an email. You can connect with me on LinkedIn or get my information from Peter, Meetup page. I am available to answer any questions. Over to you, Peter. Maybe is not that. Okay, it is.
All right. So all right, Kemmy. So you want me to talk here?
Well,
so it's
the end of the session.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, so it's been a very great learning experience. And very much interactive with the breakout sessions. And I'm quite sure everyone has been able to learn multiple things. That is more than one thing during this session. So a big thank you to you, Kemmy, for the time you spent putting it together and for facilitating new knowledge sharing for every one of us that has been here today. So on behalf of the community, we say a big thank you. And we'll look forward to having you on subsequent meetup sessions like this. So on behalf of everyone else, we'll say a big thank you. And to those who also joined us from America, from the States, from Canada, to those who also joined from India, we'll say a big thank you. And for those who joined from Lagos as well, we'll say a big thank you. So that's like 4 countries. I think that's quite impressive. So a big thank you to everyone. And subsequent, we'll share more information on next meetup. But if you have more questions, please, you can reach out to Kemmy on LinkedIn. You can also connect to her on the meetup page as well. And you can reach out to us, and we'll be very much glad to provide answers, clarifications, and also support, because it's a community. and everybody is actually free to actually contribute. So once again, a very big thank you to Kemmy, most especially, and to everyone who joined. And I will say one thing, which is, please keep safe and keep well as well. Thanks a lot, everyone.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye for now.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye. Thank you
Appreciate
so
your
much.
time. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.